Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll tour the newly expanded Aspen Drive Library, which celebrated its grand reopening on November 23rd. We'll stop by the Vernon Hills Police Department lobby to find out how you can support the annual Toys for Tots holiday toy collection, as well as donate coats to the Midwest Veterans Closet, recycle old cell phones through Cell Phones for Soldiers, or give non-perishable items to the township pantries. We'll learn how to keep the wreath red by avoiding holiday fires, thanks to Fireman Tony Rocky of the Countryside Fire Protection District. We'll check in with the Vernon Hills Police Department for some important holiday shopping, safety, and security suggestions. And we'll enjoy some of the sights and sounds of the village tree and menorah lighting, which took place at the Vernon Hills Golf Course on November 30th. Thank you for tuning into the Vernon Hills Update.
We are at the beautiful, new and improved Aspen Drive Library, over on Aspen Drive in the school park district library area. We're with David Archer, who's the director of the Cook Memorial Public Library. Did I get that right? Sometimes I get the words in the wrong order. This is cool over here, and I know this is a labor of love and a lot of heart and soul went into it. Beautiful building. How exciting is this?
It's extremely exciting. Staff has really received a ton of compliments from our community members here since opening on November 1st. We're excited that so many people have seen the library, and we encourage those who haven't to come on in and take a look.
Well, and before we talk about some of the features people will find in here that are extremely well planned out, I know the board had goals and everything, but I think it helps to lay out for people what a library does, at least what this library does. This library is busy, 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 and this does more than just like a couple of shelves of books that you check out and get out.
No question. Ever since the library opened in 2010 at 20,000 square feet, it's been undersized. It's been supported by the community in a tremendous fashion, and so we serve everyone. So you mentioned the schools in the nearby area. A lot of those students come in after school to use our facilities, and prior to this expansion, our existing building at 20,000 square feet was often too small to accommodate the students who would come in after school, as well as those who wanted to use the libraries another way. The expansion really focused on addressing that need. But in terms of what else the library does is that obviously, libraries are a great way to introduce young kids to literature and to reading and to activities. And so the new expanded space here, the new wing, is dedicated exclusively for kids and their families. And then also, the library is a very popular meeting place, and so we've expanded our study rooms from 2 to 6. We have improved our meeting room facilities and then added some more flexible space areas for programming for our after-school kids as well as our children's programming.
Well, and when you talk about programming, because there are a lot of things you can do here. You can come in, you've got speakers coming in, you've got writers coming in, you've got all kinds of way to enrich your skill set, and it's like the gathering place. And that's what's different, I think, about the library of today. There's a lot of gathering of people together.
Absolutely, and I think the library is a place where community members can be proud of, because it is a gathering place. We're open 7 days a week till 9 o'clock during the week, and then on Sundays too, we're open in the afternoon. So this is a place where the community can come and do a variety of different activities. And as you say, whether it's attending a program or coming here to do some quiet reading, or getting away from your office at home and coming here to the library, we have a little something for everyone. Our new library will also have digital recording capabilities like our Cook Park Library in Libertyville does. So there's a sound recording booth in which people can get a professional recording done, whether it's like an interview or even a musical instrument that someone wants to lay a track down for. We also will have maker equipment, so things like vinyl cutters will be available for people to use come the new year. So it's not just the regular books that people associate the library with that our new library has.
And that's, if you haven't been here, you really do need to experience. And if you live in the district, it's free to you. I mean, so you should come and join the club. It's free.
Yes, just bring your driver's license. If your driver's license has your current address and you live within the district, we can get you a new card issued. If you are new to the district, bring in your driver's license and then bring in some sort of piece of mail that would indicate where your address is. And that could be a utility bill, a rental agreement, a variety of different things. Call us and we'd be glad to walk you through that process.
Well, and let's talk, so there's so much to talk about here. We could talk about programming all day. We could talk about facilities all day, but let's start out with, you kind of touched on some of these expansions and changes and thinking you've done on this. What's one of the things right now that you think is going to make the biggest impact right off the bat? I mean, we're here in this kids area for the kids after school.
Yes, we're in the workshop, and this is my favorite space. And I think this is the one thing that was the highest priority for our board in going ahead with this expansion project. As I mentioned earlier, we get a lot of kids coming into the library from after school, and a lot of times there simply wasn't enough room for the kids, let alone the adults who wanted to be in the building and do reading or enjoying the library in other ways. So we have two areas in the library, one of which is here in the workshop, that are flexible spaces, meaning that they serve a variety of different purposes. So between 2 and 6, this room is available, and it's a closed-in, glassed-in area in which the kids can congregate and socialize and study, and also have the snack afterwards. What we found in the old building, in the existing building, that is that kids for who, if they're getting off at 3 o'clock from school, lunch was three and a half hours ago, and if they're anything like my kids, they're hungry as can be. So we wanted a place where they could come in, have a snack, and unwind a little bit, but also provide an atmosphere where they're supported by library staff. So we're engaged with them in terms of programming, encouraging them to take up reading, to encourage them to try other types of literature that they may not have tried before. And then there's also another flexible space area in the new children's wing, which is more of a structured environment where kids are actually doing a little bit more studying. So we'll find a lot of times kids will come to the workshop and unwind a little bit, and then go out onto the floor where it is quieter, and the expectations are quieter, and they'll do some studying. So and the reason why this is all important is that adults then can still have their separate areas in the library in which they're not disturbed by any of the other activities. And it's not that the kids were disturbing in the existing library, it's just simply that the space was so small that there was no activity that couldn't be heard by anybody else. So now an adult can be using the library, and across the building there could be the kids congregating after school, and neither group would hear the other. So
well, they come over here, and like you said, they eat their snack, and the surfaces in this room are beautiful, but they're looked fairly indestructible too. I think everybody's home. I wish this was my kitchen.
It's great, and that's one of the things we wanted to do in this flexible space, is to ensure that we had flooring that could withstand crushed Cheetos or glitter, because there'll be also programming in here too, science classes, and so we wanted to have a flooring that could accommodate a variety of different substances on it, and have our maintenance guys not tear their hair out trying to clean up. Yeah.
Well, and like that partnership with the schools and the partnership with the younger families and younger kids. Let's segue into that the children's area, because there was a beautiful area for kids, but it was fairly compact, yes. And this reconfiguration helps with that too.
Yes, in fact, so in the previous building, the children's area was just the corner, the very southeasternmost corner of the building, which is now occupied by an adult quiet reading room. So it is kind of sort of ironic. The great thing about the new children's wing, and it's 7,500 square feet of finished space, it's exclusively for kids and their families, is that it is separate, or it's tucked away from the rest of the building, so kids can enjoy the space, and parents don't have to worry about their kids getting excited about a book only to have someone be disturbed by that, and so, or have a look, right? And so we want to encourage kids to be delighted by the library, and this allows them to do that, and everyone has their space in this library.
That is so cool. And like you talked about, like, study spaces and meeting rooms, because people of all ages and all interests, we've got people over here doing tutoring, and we got all kinds of things going on, and that lets everybody do their thing without having to give each other the look. That's kind of nice.
Exactly, yes, and so a little something for everyone, as we like to say. Yeah.
So you said your favorite place was in here. What's another feature that comes out? I know you've done stuff inside, you've done stuff outside. I mean, there's just details that are just they're gonna pop into our mind as we go. So.
Sure. Well, I'll mention one additional insight thing, and that's our quiet reading room. And so the previous quiet reading room was a rather narrow room that had 2 windows. And we try to maximize the seating because we knew that there was a desire for people to have a quiet space away from the main floor. But that meant we had to sacrifice some of the aesthetics. Now we've relocated that room into the corner, as I mentioned, to where the youth department used to be. And it's a beautiful glassed-in room with a variety of different seating options, a fireplace overlooking the landscape grounds. And so let's go outside for a little bit and take a look at those landscape grounds. That's another area that I think that I'm particularly excited about. As you may know, the library is situated just to the west of the Victory Center and just to the north of the Sullivan Center, where the new Hawthorne Early Learning Center is being constructed. And so our board wanted to have some additional landscape put in order to complement and tie in all those adjacent properties. So with the addition of trees, some planting beds, lighted bollards along the pathway, along the walkway between the Victory Center and the library, as well as 2 new benches with concrete pads to facilitate a walker or a wheelchair. That's going to make that area really beautiful, and all of the spaces in the library overlook onto this landscaped area. It's going to be gorgeous. Yeah.
Well, it's gorgeous. I mean, we're here on a kind of a gloomy day, and we've had a lot of those gloomy days, but it still feels so warm and inviting, and this is probably the most well-lit place in town because the windows are so big, so it's just wonderful all year round. Sometimes people, I think, just come and get a little peace and quiet in here.
For sure, and our architects purposely designed the addition where it is in order to take advantage of the natural light. So the addition that was put on has floor-to-ceiling windows on both the east and south walls of that addition. And so every space in the library is not far at all from a large window overlooking to the east or south of the building. So the architects really, I think, did a great job in bringing out the best of the original building and making a unique space for the new addition.
Well, and when you talk about, it's just a beautiful space. You've got people coming in here to meet. You've got people coming in to do homework, using the Wi-Fi, doing research, upping their skills, enjoying a program. You can just come in here and the staff is welcoming, and they'll help you through that. If you just need to stop in and sit down for a minute and grab a book and just have a moment to yourself or use the Wi-Fi, it's a welcoming place.
It is, and so feel free to come in and browse our collection. But if you need assistance, we have a reference desk staffed by 2 librarians at all times who are eager to help, whether that's picking out the perfect book for you or your kids, using any of our downloadable products so you can download an ebook or an e-audiobook to your personal device, whether it's using some of our technologies such as a digital scanning station. So if you have an old wedding video that you want to have converted to a digital file, we can help with that.
For real.
For real. I'm not kidding you. So, yeah.
These guys can do it all over here. It's the one-stop shop. And again, as we said, you live here. It's part of the deal. You can just be part of this community over here, and they'll help you do that.
Absolutely. So we average about 250,000 visits per year, so we know that the building is getting used, and we expect those numbers to go up with our new addition and modify and improved space here. Mm-hmm.
Well, we here in Vernon Hills, we really appreciate this. We know that this has been almost planned since the day the first iteration of the building opened, let alone back when it was in the basement of the Village Hall. That was a beautifully well-used place as well. So,
indeed, yes. Yes, we've seen a lot of progression since those days, and I think I've said here to you before, Lynn, that when this building opened in 2010, we kind of knew from the start that the board would have to start thinking about expansion. In 2015, as part of our strategic plan, the board identified looking at expansion, and then in 2018 formally committed to going ahead with that. And the construction project began in February of 2019 and wrapped up on November 1st. So a quick 9-month project, really went well, and I think kudos to our partners at the Village for making that happen. They were more than accommodating to make sure this project got done.
A lot of partnerships, especially in this little corridor right here. And kudos to your staff, because all the while the library stayed open. It never closed down. You'd at night move stuff around again.
It's true. I think we were closed for a couple days in which there were dangerous equipment on the floor, but I think for a total of 3 or 4 days we were closed. But other than that, the main effort was to keep the library open so the patrons could continue to use our services.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for this, a chance to take a look at everything. And remember, come on over here and find out about your library. Go online. There's information online. And ask questions when you get here. The staff is more than willing to help with everything. So thank you. Happy holidays to you and your
Happy
staff.
holidays to you.
And what a wonderful thing for our village. Thank you. We are at the Vernon Hills Police Station over on Lakeview Parkway with Community Service Officer Lon Pulowski. So that means it's time that we're talking cell phones for soldiers, coats for veterans, and toys for tots, because there's a lot of collecting going on over here. And you've got the big bin over here for toys or tots, and that's till the beginning of December?
Yeah, it's right around that time. The Marines will come and pick up all the toys that we get. They always like new toys, unwrapped, because they need to see them ahead of time.
And I know too, they don't take weapons, they don't take food, weapon-like things, weapon-like toys, they won't distribute those, they won't distribute food. They do have some rules, but the Vernon Hills Police Department does have these toys for tots bins in a few other places in the village hall, so you can go to a couple places and dump in your new toys.
Yeah, you can bring them here, you can bring them to the Public Works Department, you can bring them to our village hall. There's boxes like this everywhere.
And what's nice about Toys for Tots, they collect until December 9th. I know that's early if you're watching the show later in December. They need them early because they distribute them early, and they distribute it to kids that might not get anything otherwise, and they're local kids, so it all stays here. And if you want some suggestions for what you can give, go online. They've got some more information. So these boxes are all over. What's nice about Village Hall, or the Village Police Department, is you guys are open 24/7 every day. This lobby is open, so you become kind of a gathering point for an awful lot of stuff.
Yeah, we take in a whole lot of different charitable works, but yeah, we're here 24 hours a day. If you want to come in at 2 o'clock in the morning and drop off a little toy for somebody, you can do that.
And let's talk about what else you collect, because you do coat collections. You're always working with Midwest Veterans Closet, and they work with the veterans, the enlisted, the people who are out of service, and they also work with the families of deployed. So really, they can take a lot of stuff they need.
Yeah, if you have any new or gently used coats, they would definitely take them, and they distribute them out to whoever they find needing them.
Again, another local thing, you can go into Midwest Veterans Closet to look at some of the things they need. But there's a box right here in the lobby ready to go. Yeah. Let's talk about another box that's out here. You've got a box for food drive, and so do the other Public Works and Village Hall does as well. You're always collecting food for the local township pantry.
Yeah, we collect food for the local food pantry. They'll take pretty much anything, don't have it expire, don't have anything perishable.
Good point.
Other than that, canned food, dry food, anything like that, they'll take for the...
Yeah, and always a need. We always talk about this at the holidays, but it's a need all year round. So most of these collections, aside for Toys or Tots, most of these collections you got going all year round because people have a need all year round. And the thing we came over to talk to you about, we made you talk about all this other stuff, was cell phones for soldiers. And I know that's an activity that's close to your heart. And we always like to talk to people about it about this time, because you get like a new cell phone for the holiday. What do you do with the old one? You've got an idea.
Yeah. If you get a new cell phone, you have an old one. If you have an iPod or an iPad or anything like that, cell phones for soldiers will take them. They either refurbish them or they recycle them. And for each one, they give a soldier or somebody overseas a $5 calling card, which is good for 2.5 hours of talk time. So they can call their loved ones at home. If they have maybe a kid on the way, if they want to talk, say hi to mom and dad, they can call.
And it's been going, that project was started by a young brother and sister, and it's been going strong for years and years. So it's a really reputable thing to do. They are responsible how they recycle. And when you talk about those service men and women overseas, we forget how many are deployed. There's a lot of people deployed, and getting to talk to folks back home is such a treat, and this helps.
Yeah, there is quite a few deployed, whether they're in troubled zones or if they're just in peaceful zones. There's still a lot, and they don't have a chance to always call home they don't always get the kind of money too.
Yeah, I was going to say it's an expense, and Cell Phones for Soldiers helps with that. And again, you can just drop your, like you said, even we used to talk about MP3 players and stuff. I found one at home, so I could recycle that, and that would actually go. Somebody could use that money then to go forward.
Yeah, the MP3 players, pads, anything like that. Even if you have an old phone like a flip phone, they'll take a flip phone. They'll take anything. Also, at the places we have the boxes, there's also forms for tax write-offs.
Okay, so if you want a little extra, you can pull that out, show what you've given. And I know you always say to cover yourself, if you've got a SIM card in there, maybe pull that baby out of there.
Yeah, the best thing to do for your own safety is pull out any SIM card and SD card, and then if you can go into the settings and reset the factory settings to make sure it's all wiped out. They say they'll do it, but you don't want to be the one that falls through the cracks.
That's a good point. Well, it's nice to know we've got a place to put the things that we can't use anymore, or the things that we want to help everybody with. The Vernon Hills Police Department over here, it's the best place to go. And this is when we've got two buildings here. One is on when you pull in, one is kind of more to the north and one to the south. We're talking the south building is open all the time.
Correct, yeah. There's a big sign outside the police entrance. There's other signs that saying, visitor parking and such.
Yeah, this is the place to be. As we said, you can always drop off at Village Hall. You can drop off at Public Works. You can drop off at places around town. There's a lot of people that do good work, especially during the holidays, but this is a place to come to help Midwest Veterans Closet, to help Cell Phone for Soldiers, to help Toys for Tots and the food pantries. And thank you for taking the time. And if people want to know more, I know they can get a hold of you. They can email you, and you can explain everything a little bit more. And the website has a lot of information, but you're always available.
Yeah. Anytime you want to email me, that's fine. If I'm on duty, you can give me a call. I'll call the dispatch and have them let me know that, and I'll give you a call back. However you want, but most information you're going to be able to find online at the VHPD.com.
Thank you. Thank you, Lon, and thank you to the VHPD for spearheading all this. And remember, let's, once again, like we always do, dig deep, because this is a very generous community, but the work we do is really important. So thank you, and happy holidays and safe holidays to all you over here at VHPD.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Have a happy holidays, too, and hopefully everybody gets everything that they want.
We are at Countryside Fire with Fireman Tony, and it's hard to believe we're already talking about holiday safety and all that goes with it. There's a lot going on all the time.
It's here. It's here upon us. I want to wish everybody a happy holiday season, and let's be careful out there.
Yeah, and when we talk about being careful, first of all, one of the things you do is you're big into education, so we are safe. And one of your things is you work with the older kids, and I understand right off the bat you've got some good news about an Underwriter Lab video contest.
Yes, I want to thank everyone out there for your votes. We were a finalist in the Close Before You Doze video contest sponsored by Underwriter Laboratories, and we're donated $5,000 towards our fire prevention programs.
Excellent. And you had some kids that did some great videos and did some great work.
Yeah, the Vernon Hills High School kids are so talented, and they really made it happen for us.
When you say close before you doze, tell me what that means.
Underwriter Laboratories has been doing studies for the last 10 years proving that closing your door when you go to sleep can make a 900-degree difference if there's a fire.
The bedroom door, so before you go to sleep, close yourself in.
Close your bedroom door, and that's going to keep any heat or smoke out should there be a fire. And I hope there never is. But Underwriter Laboratories studies show closing your bedroom door can save your life 10 times over.
Okay. Interesting. Scary to think about, but good information. Talk about the other things. So if something should happen, you like to have those smoke alarms and batteries all changed out, and hopefully we did that when we changed our clock.
Yeah, change your clocks, change your batteries was a month ago, right? So it's not too late if you haven't. Let's make sure you're testing your smoke alarms monthly. You should have smoke alarms on every level of your home, and then if your smoke alarm's 10 years old, you want to change it out completely.
And these kids you're teaching, they know that, so they can have that monthly smoke alarm test with their family, do all the evacuation plans. You're teaching them really well what they should need to be doing.
And they respond as well. So keep it up, boys and girls.
Excellent, excellent. Now, as we talk about going into the holiday season, one of the things that we'll see is keep the wreath red. The big wreath goes up. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, keep the wreath red is about preventing holiday decoration fires. So we want to keep the red lights on the wreath at the fire station. If you do see a white light on there, that means there was a holiday decoration fire in the time span between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
We don't want
Thanksgiving and the New Year.
in the new year. So, and we don't. And what are some of the tips we have for people to make sure that their decorations are safe? I know you're always saying make sure your Underwriter Lab UL tagged.
Yes, you want to make sure you have that specific Underwriter Laboratory tag on there, that it was tested. You don't want to be, as we say, daisy chaining all these different decorations and using extension cords. Have power strips that have the little breaker on there in case we're drawing too much power.
And on top of it, a lot of times we decorate with candles. I know those heat sources make you as a firefighter nervous, but tell us about candles, what we need to be doing to watch them.
With candles, you want to definitely make sure you have a non-combustible platform that it's on, whether it's a bowl type or a plate that will not catch on fire. When you go out, blow them out. That means if you leave the house, you leave the specific room that you're burning the candle in, blow it out. If you go to sleep, blow it out. There are candles out there, battery operated. We call them flameless candles that flicker and have a nice fragrance. You can get those, and they typically meet all the requirements for those things.
I know you like the cool running LED lights. You like those flameless candles. You like those heat sources minimized in our homes.
Absolutely, and we also want to make sure we're keeping all materials that could catch on fire at least 3 feet away, such as 3 feet from the fireplace, or if you're using a space heater. Keep things, the furniture, clothing, boots, and so forth, at least 3 feet away.
You're the same way in the kitchen. I know this is like a big cooking and celebration time. You like a room for the cook to work, a room around the stove. Don't have people up in there. Don't have combustibles up in there.
We call it the safe zone. We got to watch the little ones. We want to make sure the handles are turned to the side or to the rear. Have that lid available. Should something overheat and ignite, you can put the lid on it, turn off the heat, let it be. And the same thing with paper towels and dish towels and so forth. Anything that's combustible, as we say, or could catch on fire, at least 3 feet away.
So we need to be taking a look around, being alert, having our kids be alert on our behalf. That's really helpful too. And I know you have a little task you'd like our kids to do as we start getting into the winter months. You've got a little task to help us keep our neighborhoods safe.
Yeah, I'm hoping that you guys out there, boys and girls, moms and dads, will adopt a fire hydrant. We want to make sure we're keeping the snow cleared away from the hydrant, any debris. In case something bad happens, a fire, we're going to have access to that fire hydrant immediately.
The firefighters don't have to stop and shovel it out to get hooked up. It's already taken care of.
And you families out there, you can come, we can get you a certificate, and you adopt that hydrant that's close to your home.
That's a lot of really good information. I know there's more information on your website. You're in the schools teaching people all the time. You're available. But when it comes to a moment when we think we might need help, you've given us all the tips, but sometimes we have to make a choice, in a split second, what we should be doing. If we think we got a problem and we're thinking about it, what do you want us to do?
When in doubt, call it out, 911. If you're thinking, gosh, should I call 911? The answer is yes. Pick up the phone and call us.
When you guys are awesome, you're not going to ever scold somebody for calling 911. You want to get there and make sure you're helping.
We know people are looking for help, and that's why they call 911.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for the time. Congratulations to all of your Vernon Hills High School folks that were helping out with your video contest. And on behalf of all of us, thank you for taking care of us. Season's greetings to you all over here.
You're very welcome, Lynn, and the Village of Vernon Hills. And on behalf of Countryside Fire District, I want to wish you a very happy holiday and safe holiday season.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please don't use your cell phones whenever you're driving. If you must, please use hands-free. And watch out for those pedestrians in the lots, especially the ones talking and texting. Always lock your car doors, even if it'll only be for a moment. Hide all your valuables, even the inexpensive ones. Place larger items in the trunk. Shopping bags are a dead giveaway to a thief. And park in well-lit areas. When out shopping and dining this holiday season, here's some other safety tips to keep in mind. If you carry a purse, keep it close to you, in front where you can see it. Cover the clasp or flap with your hand or forearm. Never carry open purses or bags. That's an easy target for a pickpocket. Men, carry your wallet in an inside coat pocket or side pants pocket. Don't overburden yourself by carrying too many shopping bags. It's hard to keep track of your purse and hard to react if loaded down with shopping bags. Never hang your purse over the back of a chair at a restaurant. This is exactly what the thieves are looking for. So as much as possible, stay alert. With the arrival of winter, I'd like to remind you about an important village ordinance. Vernon Hills Village Ordinance prohibits parking on a village street for 12 hours after a 2-inch snowfall. While this may serve as a minor inconvenience to some, it's necessary that the plows can do a thorough job of cleaning the streets without having to go back a second or third time. I'd like to thank Hawthorne Mall for allowing us into Santa's magical photo adventure. Santa will be here through December 24th. And for more safety tips, go to our website, VHPD.com. And on behalf of Chief Patrick Reese and the members of the Vernon Hills Police Department, we'd like to wish you a safe and happy holiday season.
Merry Christmas! How are we today? Good to see you. Yes, you cool. How's the children? How are you? We have our Queen of Vernon Hills. You want to raise your hand? And Junior, Miss Vernon Hills.
Did not work.
The Berta sisters. All right. Guys, it's kind of nasty out here, so why don't we get a countdown going? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, no. All right. Happy Kwanzaa, happy Diwali, and Merry Christmas.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. If you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Stordo at 847-918-3560 or email mikes@vhills.org. On behalf of Mayor Roger Byrne, the Village Board of Trustees, and all the village staff, we wish you a happy and safe holiday season. And thank you for tuning into the Vernon Hills Update.